Hello everyone, welcome back. We will model a Super Mario monster plant. I think it's a piranha plant. Not really sure, but this is what we're talking about. Okay, so we will model probably something similar to this, and instead of the potted kind of for plants, we'll use this one right here where it's the Mario pipes. Okay, and we're gonna try and make this as simple as possible by working with primitives. Okay, and setting up some specific size so that you guys can follow along a lot easier. Okay, so we're not going to have a guide. We kind of know that we're going to need a sphere and a torus, and we're going to learn a few things regarding our pivot point. Okay, so first things first, let me turn on my screencast so you guys can see what I'm pressing. We're going to get rid of this one here, the cube. Okay, so if you're going to follow along, make sure you get the numbers or you can write them down on the side or whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to get a mesh torus. Okay, and we need to open the torus property right here because this is too high res. I think we're going to go with 20. All right, 20 by 12. So the good thing about 20 is that we get a cut at the X and the Y axis right there. And it's still low poly. I mean, it will look really smooth once we start applying our subdivision surface modifier. Okay, so that will be for the lip. Okay, that's the lip right there. Now we need the this kind of like the head, which is like a sphere. Okay, so let's grab a Shift A mesh UV sphere, and I think for this one we're gonna do 20 by 12 as well. So we're just kind of matching the torus. All right, and for the size, actually we can just leave it like this, I think. So let me see once I slide this down to the Z axis, because we're going to connect it right there. All right, so we can just leave that as is. Okay, so makes life a lot easier for us. So now let's start and get rid of the parts that we're not going to use for the sphere. So I'm going to hit tab or edit mode. I'm going to select in point mode the top one right there, and I will increase my selection all the way to this cut right here. Okay, I'm going to hit Control plus on the numpad. Okay, I'm going to switch to a face mode right here, and I'm going to continue growing my selection. So Control plus until we reach that right there. Okay, and then I'm going to right click, press X and delete the faces. All right, so the sphere is now kind of ready for that. Okay, now let's work on this one. So this is the front right here. So we're gonna do the X axis right here. So I'm gonna select it. Okay, we're gonna select the edge, the loop right here. So I'm gonna go hold down Option or Alt, click this, and it selects the entire ring. I'm gonna add Shift to my press key. Okay, so Shift Alt and then click this, so it selected both rings along the X right there. So what we want to do with this is scale these things, not like that, but scale them in their own origin, right? So that then we can get like the corner of the mouth. Okay, we're gonna make this one kind of, it's like wide open mouth, kind of like that. Okay, but maybe a little bit more wider, but we'll see. Okay, so we'll go back here. Oops. All right, so in order to scale this in their own pivot or selection, we need to change our pivot point. The default is on median point. We're going to go to individual origins. And what's going to happen with individual origins is that when we scale, and it's going to scale right where the selection is. So you can kind of see what we have to do here. We can go to the rings and keep scaling until we get that kind of like a linear, I mean, like a gradual shrinking of the rings, right? But that's a lot of work, so we'll introduce here proportional editing. It's this button right here. Keyboard shortcut is O, and most beginner Blender users, they activate this by accident, you know, press O. And what happens is that when this thing is on, and it's on smooth right now, it's kind of like it affects whatever transform you're using, it affects the area where the reticle size is. So how do we see the reticle size? So I'm going to press S, okay? When I press S to scale, this reticle shows up, right? This circle. Then you can scroll your mouse, and this is the area of effect. So if I want to effect more, I can scroll this. So kind of hard to explain at this point. I'm going to have to actually scale this, okay? So you see it. So I'm going to press, I have S now, so I'm just going to move the mouse. So I'm scaling. As I'm scaling, watch the neighbors, the neighbor rings, they get affected. So now, and I think that's the correct kind of radius right there. There you go. So that becomes kind of like the corner of the mouth. Okay. So if we go to the side viewport, okay, and we know both rings are selected, right? I'm going to go press G instead. Okay. G and Z while I still have proportional edit. So when I move this, the whole thing kind of just go like this. All right. So it has its own kind of little, it gets affected going this way. Okay, so I'm just going to go probably like that. Then I can, well, let's see. Should I move it like that or rotate it? I think rotating it would be better. Okay, so, all right. So I'm going to turn this off. Then we're going to just rotate everything else. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to try and grab this one right here. So Alt click the center one, right? I'm going to click Control plus. So it's going to grow all the way right there before the middle. So number 3 right here. So I'll just rotate this one like so, and then a little bit more. And they don't have to be the same because it shouldn't be, you know. It shouldn't be the same with that. So, all right. So I think that's good enough right there. Okay. I'm going to select the center one again right here. Alt click. Grow my selection. Control plus, 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 plus. Number 3 for numpad number 3, sorry, for side viewport. And then I'm going to do that. And let's see. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, so now we have created the lip. We just need to lower it, GZ, kind of like so. Okay, and I think we can combine the two because we match the numbers. Remember, it's 20 and 12. So they have corresponding geometry. They're a little bit compressed right here, but that's okay. That would still work. All right. So, and I think that's that. All right. So we can now, let's hide this first so we can see at the bottom. So it's that line right there. Okay. I'm going to hide the sphere. So we need to get rid of the polygon right here where the ring of the sphere is, or hemisphere now, and one more I think over here, so we can both get rid of those, I think, and then we can have the inner of the mouth and still be able to do things, or maybe just this. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that X and then faces. So now that that's empty, let's bring back the sphere. All right, and then that looks like it can just connect there. So what I'll do with the sphere is I need to get rid of this. So I'm just gonna face bridge those. Okay, individually, so I get the segments in between. So I'm gonna go press tab to go to edit mode. Press number 3 so that I'm in face mode. Alt click all the way around, and then I'm going to delete one more faces, one more line, right? Now to combine the two together, select the select one, shift click the other, and then Control J to join. If you can't remember that, each time you're in object mode, object right here, duplicate, join, all that stuff that they're going to be right here. Okay. So now that that we have joined them, we can now create bridge on their surface. If they're not joined, you can never weld them or whatnot. So they need to be joined. Okay. So I'm going to go to edge mode, select one edge right here and then another one. So those matching one, and press F right here for face, and just connect that bridge. Okay. So I'm just going to do this manually so you actually see how those are lining up. And be careful that you don't select the wrong one. Like you could select that by accident and this one, and you get that kind of crazy inside one. So, all right, just kind of pay attention when you do this. All right, shouldn't be long. It's not a whole lot. Here you could adjust those, but I think it's close enough. It's not gonna kind of warp the shading and whatnot. This is what I'm talking about, where it's not kind of straight. You know, but that's, then again, that's the corner of the mouth. We might actually pull those a little closer later if we have to, when we're animating, if we decide to rig this Mario plant or Piranha plant, I think. All right, almost there. So selecting one edge on the top, one edge at the bottom, like matching one, then press face right there, just kind of bridge it. Okay. And this is pretty much universal, folks. You can use, you know, I mean, I keep saying Softimage. That's my favorite all-time 3D software. No longer available, sadly. You know, you can just kind of use the same technique. In Maya, it works. In 3D Max, it works. You know, it's universal. All this kind of modeling technique is universal. All right, there it is. So we now have the lip and the sphere connected. We just kind of relax those lines a little bit to make it better. So I will save this in case I crash. I'm going to call this one Mario Plant. Okay, make it a habit, save, you know, progress and all that stuff. So yeah, we might need to do that on the side right here. So I'm going to go to X-ray mode, go to my point mode, select those, and then kind of go like so, and then just kind of, so it's not too kind of flat right here. Just kind of relax those a little bit. Maybe select all those, kind of lower it a bit. All right, it is an organic creature, so it's it should be okay to do this. You know, it's not like it's perfect sphere. Okay, let's go to the number. Number 3 right here, and maybe I overdid it on that side. Okay, that should be fine right there. And if you want to kind of pull this closer, so to kind of align it a little better. All right, let's take a look. I'm gonna turn off X-ray, smooth shade. Okay, it's looking good. We can add more rings right there to kind of control the lip, so that we have like a hard crease right there. Okay, but pretty much that is done. All right, and then we got to create the tongue right now and the inside of the mouth. All right, so I'm gonna go to preview mode. Sorry, drawing a blank there. And here I'm gonna go zoom in, and then I'm gonna find, remember we took that layer, that ring of faces inside. I need to grab the edge right there, that one that's on the inside, right? So I'm going to alt click that. What's going to happen is going to select the whole thing. All right, excellent. And what we want to do is just press F right here, and it just filled it in, right? So that's not good. That's not what we want for the purpose of this one. We just want to make sure that we've got something to grab there so we can do inset faces, kind of like this one. So if I press I, then I can generate that, then I can just pull those back, right? So here I will simply just extrude this down a little bit, just so that we kind of got like inside cavity of the mouth right there, right? And then I will press I right here. So I think this is a good spot to actually, or scale it a little bit more. This will be the gums where we can just stick those teeth. Okay. And then I'm going to lower this a little bit, G and Z, grab Z axis. So I'm going to go press E now to extrude this down and then scale it a bit. So it kind of went in, right? I'm not going to create like a hole for the mouth and whatnot. This is what we're going to use for the tongue, right? So now we're going to press I just a little bit, okay? And then I will scale this along the Y axis going this way. So S and Y to kind of flatten that. That will be the tongue. Okay, so now we will extrude this and maybe scale that a bit so it kind of goes outward. Okay, scale it again. Maybe extrude it again, then scale it like so, like that. All right, and then scale it. Extrude it one more time. I keep saying scale, and then scale this in. All right, for the tongue, I think that's fine right there. And we just got to fix the topology here because it's blank. Okay, I also should have fixed this corner of the mouth right here so that we don't have all this geometry here. So let's fix that. Drives me nuts whenever all these things are just kind of compressed right here and then they have no purpose. So those three vertices right there, I'm going to join them into one. I'm going to press M, merge at center, okay? Then select this one down here. Shift R is to repeat the last command, which is merge center, okay? However, if your chain of command gets interrupted or whatnot, then you're going to have Shift R won't work, of course. It always remember the last command. Last tool, sorry, not command. Okay, select those. Shift R. Shift R. And I don't have X-ray mode, okay? So I know for sure it's not affecting whatever's at the bottom. All right, right here is where I want to end it. So I'm going to select this one, X, and then dissolve edge. I got a quad right there. It look a little funky, but I'll move that. Yep, man, just leave it alone. So it's all quad. Okay, let's go over here. Select this 3 right here. Press M at center, and then do the exact same thing. Shift R. Shift R. Shift R. Shift R. Merge. That one right there. Merge. And then finally, grab this edge. X and dissolve that edge. I'm going to save it. All right, and there we have it. So now I got to fix this. Just need to I can do a lot of we can introduce the knife tool here. Okay, so the knife tool, keyboard short, it's K, and creates like edges, right? So there's a surface right here. So I'm going to press K. Make sure the key here though is you are snapping to the point and then to the other point. Okay, you don't want to leave. I mean, you can fix it. If you miss it by a hair, you can go ahead and merge it, but that's more work. Go like there, click, and then what you need to do is press Enter on the keyboard to end the tool. Otherwise, you'll keep cutting. It'll drive you nuts. So we're creating some quads right here. So that's a quad, right? Enter. K for knife. All right. And right here we'll create we'll create a line in between, of course. So K, click, snap to vertices, enter to end the tool, restart the tool by pressing K. Snap, very important. And if you got sloppy with that one, check later on. You know, you don't want to miss that one. So here I'm going to press K, this end, and then rotate the camera, orbit the camera. Click that one. All right, so now we got everything quads. All right, and I'm just going to go point mode here, select all this. Okay, press number 3 side viewport, and then just kind of, okay, gonna rotate that a bit if you want. Okay. All right, and then we can do also plus, Control plus, increase the selection. right there. So number 3. So I'm going to rotate this, press R. All right, so kind of just bended it like so. I think that works. Minus, control minus, R again. All right, there's the tongue. And it's all one piece. Yay. All right, so save. Let's do the part right here. I think that little, I don't know if I want to include that with the, yeah, I'm gonna include it with the head, so we can use a spline for that one. Okay, and use a path curve. So all right, same deal. I will get rid of all this edges here. So X, dissolve edges. Okay, and actually maybe it's should be bigger, this one here. So undo, control plus, increase the selection, well, and then alt click shift this one to get rid of that selection. Okay, dissolve edges by pressing X. All right, so here we go. Press number 3 for face mode. Okay, and then what we want here is to just extrude this by just a bit right there, so it has kind of like a little border, which we'll do one for that one later. Then extrude again, but this time scale it in, so we're like kind of curving it in, right? Extrude again by a bit, and then there we go, kind of like a little socket, you know. I don't know if that's too big, maybe not. Scale it a little bit, and then press E, go in. All right, so then we can put that bulb right there, and it's still low poly at this point. You can save it like this, and then have another version for high polygon. Okay, so that's that right there. And the teeth, probably gonna use some cubes with those, and form kind of so they're low poly, because if we use a cone, because it looks like they're cones, the geometry for cone, we're gonna have issues because it's a triangle, it's a point at the tip, right? So I think we're better off with cubes on this one, or a cylinder, not cube, sorry. Low poly, we'll go to that one. All right, so now next part, this is part 1, so we'll split it. We'll do part 2 when we texture. Okay, so now looking at this, we need to rotate this, so it, well, I curve it over here, so I guess I can flip it on that side. So I'm gonna press R and control. Okay, oops, sorry, select it first. R, control, so I can snap, so it goes like that. Okay, so it's flat right here. It's so good to go. Okay, all right, so then we can create our path right here. So let's call this one plant head. All right, and then we're gonna hide that for now. Let's create the leaf, and the leaf looks like this spiky poinsettia. All right, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so all right, let's see what's the best way to do that. Let's try a cylinder top. Okay, let's get a cylinder. Way too much. 16. I'm gonna cut it in half. All right, I'm gonna go to the top. Well, I just want this top right here, so I'm gonna go Control I to invert my selection, and then press X, delete the faces. Okay, so I only have this. Let's go to the top right here. So now I have the face selected. I'm gonna press I, drag this in. All right, like so. Okay, and we can do mirror here, but there's not enough. We have plenty of. I mean, there's only a few lines here, so I'm just gonna do this traditional way, not using any mirror and whatnot. So I'm gonna scale that, and I'm hoping that's the one that's gonna create that. Okay, that will kind of work. We just kind of need to manipulate it. So I'm going to use symmetry right here. I'm going to press X, so whatever I do on this side, that one follows. Okay, so it's a little bit on the squarey circle aspect, so I will press 1 for points, And then I'm going to turn off that off for now, right? So I'm just going to kind of move this up a bit, and then select here, move this down. And you know, symmetry is good, but we don't really need it for, you know, for this one. It's too simplistic. Okay, so something like that. All right, and yeah, I think that will actually work. Or maybe I need more of this going in. Give it a little bit more kind of like spikiness. All right. It's a terrible looking leaf at this point, but let's press K, knife. I want a line here and over here. So that's a center one. All right. And then what else here? Definitely we need a line going from there to here. All right. And another line right there. And another line from here to here. All right, so so that's a quad. This is a weird looking one. Let me go like this. Okay, so if I go straight right there, quads. Okay, all quads. So here and over there. Press K again. Remember, you have to press enter or return to stop the knife tool. Okay, so that's my kind of weird leaf topology. And it's kind of rounding this. Should I go like that? Maybe, yeah. All right, and then here I'm gonna round this kind of off a little bit. Not round off, curve it a little bit. Okay, there's that. So I'm going to select all the points here. Okay, and then I'm going to, actually I'm gonna leave that alone. I wanna select this lines, GZ, there you go. So I'm gonna create kind of like the curvature for the leaf. Okay, and then next, this one. I'm gonna use my move tool here so you could see what I'm grabbing instead of all those keyboard shortcuts. All right, right there. And then over here. Okay, over there. So if I go here, this would be those spiky points. I'm just gonna drag them kind of down. All right. So now let's take a look. Might not look like, might not work. I'm going to add a modifier to this to give it thickness, right? So I'm going to give it a solidify and give it a number. So kind of thick. I think that's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to add a subdivision surface and right click smooth. All right, so it doesn't have the spike and we have to do something. Okay, so with the crease. So if I go here, well, I can't do the crease because my solidify is still active. Okay, so maybe you need to give it a little bit more thickness. Whoa, let me turn off subdivision so I could see what that really looks like. Maybe that's good right there. So I'm going to apply solidify. So now it's a real 3D mesh, you know. It's not just pseudo. All right, so I'm gonna go press number 2. I'm gonna click on this edges. All right. Shift clicking all those were supposed to be spiked. It looks like a turtle back. So, but after we do this, so I selected all of those. I'm gonna press N for the sidebar, and you see this one on item mean crease. So when I drag this all the way, all right, you see it? It's kind of made those like sharp, and there we go. There's our leaf. We still need some work. I'm gonna put a Control R here, one loop right there. Okay, and what can I do with that one? Maybe go like that. All right, I'll put another one here, and then G kind of. So it looks a little bit more. Well, maybe I overdid that. Okay, I like that. All right, and you can move some points, make it a little bit more organic looking, but okay. I think it just needs some curvature. So if I go here, X-ray mode, number 1, I'm gonna select. That's like half of it, right? So I'm gonna rotate this. All right, so Control minus. Move the selection a bit. Okay, I'll do the same thing right here. All right, so now let's take a look. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. I think that will do, and OCD will kick in, and yeah, you know, probably do that. And all right, let's just leave it kind of like this. If you guys can do whatever you want with yours, I'm gonna leave mine like this because I'm gonna be here for a while tweaking, and this video would run a lot longer if I let myself tinker with this. Okay, all right, so let's say that's good. Okay, so that's the leaf. All right, and it's need like the stem, so that's curvature right there. So we're gonna put it right here. So I'm just gonna grab it from this area here. So I'm gonna move that up just a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna select this face and that face. Okay, and I'm gonna right click. I have loop tool on, right? So edit preferences, add on, LOOP, loop. Make sure it's on. So you have an option to change this shape without doing a lot of work. Okay, right click, loop tool, circle. All right, it kind of killed it, but it's a circle shape, so I'm going to kind of fix it. There we go. I think it went inside out. All right, is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. It just needs to be lowered here, and the stem right there shouldn't be that low because it's supposed to be coming out here. All right, okay, that looks good. And maybe those 2 points shouldn't be that high. Okay, then we select those back again. You don't want this as the mean crease on this one, so let me just select that. Okay, because it's the stem, it's no longer the spiky one. E to extrude, maybe another one. Okay, we still looks stiff. Undo, rotate it. There we go. Maybe scale it a bit. Maybe, I don't know. We go here. All right. Well, we're gonna attach this to the stem. I mean, yeah. Okay. Control plus, and then maybe move this up a bit. All right. So now let's take a look. I'm gonna turn on the activate the. All right. That's a leaf right there. Save. So now let's bring back the plant head. Oh, it's like a little Totoro. Okay, so let's create the stem. Okay, number 3 right here. So I'm gonna need a curve path for that one. Okay, add or Shift A, curve, and then this guy right here. All right, it's inside. Okay, I want it that way, so I'm gonna rotate it along the Z-axis. R, Z, 90. All right. Then we're gonna move it G for grab, Y-axis. It goes like that. Where is it? Okay, there you go. So now let's take a look. All right, so I'm gonna press G here, freeform, stick it in there. Press Tab. Okay, and then grab the bottom one. All right, kind of cool, huh? It's really easy. What are we looking at here? How much? Okay, just went like this. Okay. I think that's fine right there. Okay. Then how do we get that cylinder coming out? Well, we pre-select the curve. We go to the curve property right here under geometry. The preview is 12, so that's how we'll change that one. We're gonna go to bevel. We're gonna give it a depth. There we go. Something like that. I think that's fine. What did I put? Let's go 0.25. Okay. It's really high resolution because we're going to apply a subdivision surface. We're going to need to match this when it's looking like that. Okay, so this guy can't. Let me turn on my wireframe so we see how dense it is. You see it right here. So let's tone it down a bit. Okay, 4 probably is fine. Resolution here is 4. I changed it to 3. Okay. Yeah, that's still gonna look smooth once I applied subdivision surface. Here we go. All right, so it still looks. And question is, can we make this one piece if we want to? Yes. And you know, there's really no need at this point, but yeah, you can easily make that into a single piece. All right. And what you need to do when you're done, of course, is let's take that out for now. Turn off our wireframe. Okay, is that you need to convert this. This is still a curve or a NURBS, right? So you need to convert this into a mesh, because when you hit tab, you're just going to see this path. You're not going to see your vertex, your you know, your polygon. So I'm going to save this first. Right click here. If you right click it in object mode, convert to mesh. Now it is a polygon. Okay, so now this guy right here can actually join that one. So, and size wise, I think it will work. So okay, something like that. And number 3, we're gonna. Okay, and then we'll have another one. Shift D, rotate it. I don't know if that's how it goes. Maybe a little higher. GZ. If I go to the top, it's gonna. All right, we can position that much better later when we kind of attach it. But I do want to paint it first, and I don't want to. Well, maybe we can. Or we can just. This is the only thing we're gonna paint anyway. The rest is just color. All right, so that's done. I think we still gotta connect them, but let's position them there for now, so we can do some of that stuff in part 2. Now we just need the pipe, or that looks like a pot, right? So cylinder. This one we can go back to 32. You know, it's just a cylinder at this point. We don't want it looking too low poly. What is the size? Kind of big. All right. I forgot to at least give this some shape before we're gonna have to do that kind of with the proportional edit. It's too stiff. You see it? I forgot to curve it. So all right. Anyway, let's concentrate on the task at hand. GZ. Right there's fine. And GY. All right. Now we go. This should be. You should be familiar with this one. Should be easy. You know, E, S, E, I, inset. I don't know how thick that's supposed to be. So E. It's gonna go up to there. Looks like a potted thing. All right. And then we're gonna lower this a bit. G. Oh, that's actually long. All right, right there. Okay, and maybe we can lower that because it's we got space. Okay, and then this one we can go shade smooth, then go to your object data, normal, auto smooth. Okay, and we can also do. Let me object apply scale. I'm gonna add some bevel because otherwise it will be dangerous for this plant to touch that. It'll bleed. Right click, bevel edges, and we're gonna go Okay. If we're going for a low poly look right there, right? Because we can also add a, if we turn that off, we can add a subdivision surface to this. Okay, and we just need to kind of reinforce the Control R right there. All right, and then definitely at the bottom because it looks weird. Okay, and select the face at the bottom, then press I. Okay, all right. So if we want to, and yeah, and here one too, and press I also. That's what's happening actually, right? Press I. Kind of creates another one, and then it kind of gives it the. All right, so if you want it smoother, but if we turn that off, it still looks pretty good and smooth and low polygon. So we'll have two versions. We're gonna definitely keep the low poly version for sure. All right, so there's that minus the teeth. So for part 2, I'll do the teeth, attach this one, all the lighting and shading and texturing. All right, thanks for watching. Wait for part 2.